Welcome to TechBrothersIT. Today we are going to learn how to create my first SSIS package. That's exciting, right? But if you guys are excited about that or laughing about that, okay, Amir has created 400 videos and he never showed the very first step, how to even start SQL Server data tools or the bids. And now after creating those many videos, he's coming back and saying, okay, how to create my first SSIS package. Isn't that funny? Yeah, it is in a way, but I did not run out of the list of difficult videos. It is just I was telling somebody, okay, you need to follow step by step. So the very first step I was telling him, okay, how to create the packages, right? And when I looked at my own tutorial, I did not have that video. So I have the video how to load the tab delimited file to the SQL Server table. So if you take a look in that video, it does tell you how to create the first package and some part of that, but that doesn't really tell the details to a person who never actually encounter SSIS. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and create these simple videos as well. So I have another list of 200 videos, difficult videos I'm gonna make, but on top of that, I will be creating very simple videos and fill in the I will be doing fill in the blanks here in this tutorial. So if you guys see here, now each and every task I'm putting effort to make a lot of videos, any scenario I can think of. So the very first, now we are going to go ahead and create the very first package. To create a SSIS package, you can go ahead and open your SSDT SQL Server data tools, or if you are using old versions such as 2005 and 2008, you will be using the bids. So most probably if you are going to work with the SSIS, you will have SQL Server. So if you don't know how to install the SQL Server, so we have a tutorial here, SQL Server 2014 DBA video tutorial, and I will recommend watching this video, how to install SQL Server 2014 step by step. And next, once you have engine installed, you can go ahead and watch this video, how to install SQL Server data tools for BI. So once you watch this one and have your SSDT SQL Server data tools installed, then you can start your work on SSIS packages, right? So now once this SQL Server data tools are installed, there are multiple ways you can open it. I have pinned it to the task bar here. Let's say we don't have it here, so we are going to go to the search and write SQL Server data tools, and that's where you will see SQL Server data tool for Visual Studio 2012. So you are going to click here. And if you have old versions such as 2005 or 2008, you will be going to start button and SQL Server, and you will find Business Intelligence Development Studio. That's where you are going to use to create your SSIS package. Let me show you the contents what we are going to cover here. So we are going to open SSDT that we already did. That is important to create SSIS packages. Next, we are going to create SSIS project. So project can hold multiple packages, right? So we will be going to the file and then go to new and project. Once we'll open this new project window, we will have different options. We have integration services project, and we have integration services import, export, wizard. Here you have analysis services, integration, reporting, but click on integration services because we are going to create SSIS project, right? So integration services project, fine. The very important part, I don't recommend leaving this part as it is. So if you are leaving this one as it is, integration services project 4, next time it will be 5 and 6 and all that. This is something like I have kid 1, kid 2, kid 3 and kid 4. This is funny name, right? You want to give them proper name. So in this case, let's say I'm teaching you guys SSIS related to, let me think of SSIS video tutorial, and in this topic we are creating new packages, right? So maybe I can say basics. So in this project I will have only the basic videos what I'm going to create and in that way I will be creating very basic SSIS packages. So name anything that relates to you, maybe a project name. When you're working in real time, maybe these all packages will be related to finance. So you will create a project for finance, you will create a project for HR, maybe just a customer, depends whatever the project you are working and whatever the department you are working on. So go ahead and do it. Next part, if you see, this is where our project is going to be created in this folder. So if you don't know where it is going to be created, you can copy and paste and just keep it to yourself, but you will get familiar with this very quickly. Or you can go ahead and create your own folder. Maybe on the my desktop you want to create a folder called my project. So in this case, let's say you will say SSIS projects, and you can have that one. Now you select it here, select folder. Now this project will be created under SSIS project folder, projects folder, that is on desktop, and the solution name is the same one what you have selected here. So now we are good. And one thing we missed is that to create new directory, right? We want to create it, the new directory. Once you open your project, you will see something like this. After we create this one, this new package is already there. It's called package.dtsx. So you have SSIS packages here. So there are two type of deployment models. We have it here. We have if you click here and go to the convert to package deployment model, this is the old way. Let me convert that one and show you. So okay, fine. So now you don't see those tabs here, such as shared connection managers and all those kind of things, because this is exactly what you see in the bids. In the bids, when you are using SSIS 2005 or 2008, this is what you will see, and it's called package deployment model. You would not deploy the packages directly to the SSIS DB, and you will be using maybe file location, or maybe saving in MSDB or whatever, and that's how you will be saving your packages and then deploying them one by one, and or maybe all together. But this will be not projected deployment. In project deployment, you can deploy all the packages from a project in one click. And now in 2016 you have an option probably to deploy single packages as well. I haven't actually explored that yet, but I was reading about that, so I will make video on that. Now we can go ahead and convert this one to the project deployment model as well. Once we will convert that, what happened? Now it will have some next. How many next you want me to do and convert? Okay, fine, and close. So once we converted this one to the project deployment, then you can see project.parameters, connection managers, and all those kind of things you will see. In the package deployment, you will not see the parameter part and connection managers, because you do not have the parameters in old version. You had variables, but they are related to the package. Here you have a project level parameters, and that these can be used across multiple packages. Same way you have connection managers that can be used in different packages. Now let's go towards creating a new package instead of we will talk a lot. Here you have a package. You can drop this package or create a new package. So let's create a new one. Right click here and new SSIS package. Once you create this one, this will automatically take the name with package 1. If you create a new one, it is going to take the name called package 2. These are not great names. I always recommend click here and then provide some reasonable name. So in my case I say package underscore load customer, because in this package I want to load customer data from some file and into the SQL Server table. And let's say for the second package we are going to do package create a customer file. So give some reasonable name, because if you have package 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, tomorrow you will come back, you would not know which package is doing what. So it's something like you have so many kids in the house and you call, hey kid, which kid you are talking about? So give a reasonable name, the same way we give name to the kids, or you know, even we give name to the pets very nicely and say, okay, this is my pet and that's his name, right? And the same way you need to give name to your packages, so you would know the purpose of that package, what exactly that package is doing. So now one more thing, always remember this is extension, right? So .dtsx, so you don't want to mess with that. Let's say if I mess with that one, I remove the dot from here, it throw me error right away. It said that if you change the file extension, the file can become unusable. Do you want to continue? If I am not paying attention, I did that. So now what happened? That package is not there anymore. So the package is gone, right? So let's see where did it go. Now it came to the miscellaneous. So that we made a mistake. Now let's try to convert that back and see if we can convert that back. So if I put the dot back, now it is saying if you change the file extension, the file can become unusable. It is already unusable for my case. Okay, I want to continue, so it bring it back. But that you don't want to waste time on just changing extension and messing up with that, right? So remember, .dtsx is going to be solid. You don't change it, just the name part you need to change. Now once you have created this package, where are they going? So save them. Once you save them, remember I was showing you the directory where we need to save, we have saved them. So go to desktop and we have SSIS project, and here that's where we have name SSIS _ video tutorial basics, and now we see the solution. Solution is holding those projects, and if we click further, we can see those packages created here. So you see the package 1.dtsx package customer file and the load customer, and this is a project.parameters, and then there are other files as well. Now what exactly the packages are? So they are DTSX file, right? So but in other words, you can double click and open that one, and you can see that this is simply XML file. So packages are, the definition of the package is saved in XML format. So that's how they are saved. From here you can have different information such as product version. I had made a video how to find out if the package is created in 2008 or 2012. So you by looking at this information you can tell in which version these packages were created. Now let's close this one, come back here. What we see, or what are the important components we have here? We have a control flow. What is control flow? Control flow is the part of a package where we control the flow. Let's say if I wanna load the data from one file to the other file, or maybe one file to the SQL Server table, I can use the data flow task. And next, after loading the data flow task, I want to truncate something, I can use execute SQL task. So this is how I'm controlling the flow. So you have first task attaching with the second, and then maybe another one. And here you want to say if this fails, you can set this precedence constraint to the failure. So see, you are controlling the flow of the package here, and this is called control flow. That's where your tasks will be available. You will call them tasks, and if you see here other tasks, there are some DBA tasks, we can use them. So there are a lot of them. Now the important part what we have here, let me delete. So control flow, where we control the flow of our tasks, which task should run first, which task should, if it will fail, should the next task run or not run. So in that's where we are controlling our flow of the tasks, right? Next, if you see here, we have data flow. In the data flow, we have entirely new list of the tools. So when we click on control flow, our task list is changing. So they are sensitive to the data flow or control flow. So if I go to data flow again, we have different transformations. We have sources like that can be used to read the data from different files, SQL Server table or Oracle table or any other sources. Then we have common transformations, transformations of which can be used to perform different tasks. Let's say I'm reading some data and I want to just take the row count, like how many records I read from the source. I can use the row count and then I have destinations, so I can write the data to different destination. So in the data flow, what we have transformations, we have sources, we have destinations. In the control flow, what we have tasks, and that's where we will control the flow. Inside the data flow task, you do not control the flow of a package, but you can control the flow of the data. So let's say I have one source and I want to, let me bring one source. This is a lot of talking, right? And don't get bored. It's gonna be fun, because once we learn it, then other videos are gonna make more sense to you. Now I'm reading the data from one of the source. So I use OLEDB source. It can be connected to the SQL Server or maybe other data sources as well. Now I can make choices. I have multicast here. Multicast is a transformation that can give me the multiple outputs of the input data. So from once I have that, then I can use maybe I want to use on one side I want to use the OLEDB command transformation. On other side I want to use the lookup. So I am branching my data, but this is where I'm controlling the movement of the data depending upon, maybe just in this case in multicast there is no condition, but I could have put a conditional split here, and the conditional split will split the data according to the condition. So I can split the data, branch out the data, and merge the data together. I can do different things with the data, and but I'm not controlling the flow of the package. So I'm controlling the flow of the data in one task. So in the control flow, I can have multiple data flow tasks, and I can tell which one should run first and which one should run after that. So you see here I have put them in a sequence, right? And this one should run first, and this is the second one, and this is the third one, and they should all complete. This is a success. So if this is successful, this should run. If this is successful, this should run. I can go ahead and say completion. So in this case, I don't care. This one should complete successful. This should run, and this one will run success or failure. As long as it's complete, this should run. So see, I'm controlling the flow of my tasks here or my package here, but inside that I'm controlling the flow of the data. So I can decide where my data should go depending upon conditions, and sometime maybe I don't want to have any condition, I just want to write to multiple places. I can do it. So that's next we have parameters where you have such as you want to create some parameter value that can change in one environment, such as you are running this package on one machine that's called dev machine or your own local machine. If you give it to me, maybe I don't have C drive on other computer, so maybe I have D drive, and that's where my files are. So instead of I open the package and change it, I can change the value of these parameters by using configuration. So I will have the videos on configuration, and by using those parameters we can add the configuration and then change the value of these parameters from the configuration, and that make the package dynamic. So that's the way to you can develop one true copy of your package and deploy to your SQL server, and maybe first you deploy to dev machine, then you deploy to the SIT machine, UAT machine, and then finally to the prod machine. So different computers where you can deploy the same package, but on each of the environment, as we will use the configuration, the values of these parameters can change. So let's say I have an input folder here, and it's called input folder, and on each of the computer where I'm going to deploy this package, I don't have to come back and open and make a change and save it and give to the next computer. I can use the configuration, and the value here can be changed by using the configuration. So one true copy, and you can deploy and change the value of these parameters or input folders according to the environment, such as UAT, prod, or QA, whatever it is, and you don't have to make changes. Make your package dynamic, use the parameters. I insist in each and every video. The last thing I would like to say, event handler. So event handler, when error happens on your package level or your task level, then you go ahead and want to do something, maybe roll back those data loads. You have loaded the data, you want to truncate it. Maybe you want to send an email. Maybe you want to do something, maybe truncate all the tables which you loaded in the process of loading staging tables. You want to in case of failure, you want to go ahead and truncate all staging tables that you have loaded, and when the next time the package run, it will reload. So anything in case of failure or on warning, so you have different events on execution, on error, on information, on post execute, pre-validate, post validate, and all those kind of things. You can select any event and run any task here. So you can run execute SQL task or send mail task or data flow task, whatever you want to run it. And here you are going to see when your package is going to, you are exploring the package here. So you have package, you have connection managers, you have log providers, and you have executables. All the executable, you can see data flow 1, 2, 3 that we put it here in the control flow. You have precedence constraint. So remember, we have connected our package from this one. This is one precedence constraint 1, and this is the second. So these are the lines they connect our tasks together. These are called precedence constraint. I have a video on each and every thing what I'm talking about here. So I will recommend go and watch the next videos. But here the goal is to make you familiar with the tasks or tabs, whatever is available here. We have parameters. Remember, we have created input folder parameter. Event handlers, we haven't created anything in the event handler, but even in case I'm using execute SQL task here, so you will see that. So this is where you will explore the entire thing. So the variables, we have system variables we can use. They are provided by the SSIS package, and we can create our own variables. So let me go back and create a new variable here for you. So let's create a variable called file name. So this is a one variable. You have data types, string, integer, single, and all different data types. You can select any data type. So data types are important when you create the variables, and try to select or choose the correct data type. Okay, now this side we already have seen that. Let me just delete this part right now. Once your package, even your package has nothing, let's say I have dropped everything, so I'm gonna delete everything what we have put. Now we go to control flow. This package is created, fine. We don't have anything in this package as of now, just the variable. I'm gonna remove the variable as well. I can go ahead and run the package. As there isn't anything, if we go to the progress, we will just see validation started, validation completed, and that's all. Now I can come back here. So stop the package by using this red circle here, square here. Okay, now bring the data flow task. Once you have the data flow, start the package again. It completed successfully. It did not has any source transformation or anything, but it will complete as it is. So but some cases some of the task will not complete. So if you put it here, this is still showing you a red cross or a multiply sign here and telling you, hey, there is something you are missing. So if you hover our mouse here, no connection manager is specified. So not like data flow task everything will run, because it doesn't need other tasks or transformations inside, but some of the tasks will throw error right away, and they want to have that information or set up. If you don't do it, they will not run. So if I run this package now, it will throw error. It say, okay, you need to it failed while it was validating, and there is something you are missing here, right? So You can have data flow task without configuring it, but you will not be having execute SQL task without configuration here. Okay, now let's go back, stop the package. Next part, we are gonna create a file from the SQL Server table, and what we need to do, the very first thing, we need the data flow task. We are already in the data flow. So once we are in the data flow, our list has changed. Remember, I was telling you we need to have a source. So we are reading data from SQL Server. So we are using OLEDB source. This can be used to read the data from SQL Server. Now once you open it, it will open OLEDB source editor. You will create a new connection. If even you don't know what to do, there is no option, there isn't any place where you will go. You will come here, okay, what I do now, you come here, keep clicking, right? So eventually you have to click here on the new. That's going to ask you, okay, create your new connection manager. Now in the new, when you hit new button, I have already 3 of them because I had been working on this project, right? And here we will go ahead and click on this drop down. I don't recommend that. Maybe in your environment where you are working, maybe you have hundreds of SQL Server on your domain and or network, whatever you call. What happen in that case, it will bring all the list. I recommend go in and just taking the name and put it there. You can write it or paste it, whatever your choice. Once you have that, the next part is selecting the database, because from the database we will be reading some records, right? So database sales, in this case, I'm okay with that. Test the connection. It's always good idea to test the connection. Hit OK. Now we are fine. Next part, data access mode. We are table or a view. So we are reading from a table or view. Table name or view name variable. If you have saved the name in the variable and you want to use that variable, or you want to use a SQL command, or you have saved your SQL command in variable and prepared it and you want to use it here. I will recommend going and watching my videos. I have all these scenarios covered. So there are a lot of videos I have made, and there is plan to make video on each and every topic I want to do it. So I will go ahead and use SQL command. Why? Because there is a reason. I don't want to use just the table name from here, and maybe table has 5 columns today, and if I select the table name, let me select any, let's say employee table, and now if I go to columns, the employee has the ID, first name, last name. So I selected everything. So it means select star from or asterisk from employee, right? But if tomorrow one column will be renamed or maybe a new column will be added, this SSIS package is going to fail because that column will not be available. So good idea is always write a SQL command. In my case, I'm going to write select f name L name from DBO employee. Now preview the data. This is also very good learning point. I don't recommend writing these statements here and just keep figuring out what happened. I always recommend opening your SSMS. So SQL Server Management Studio, that's what you need to open. Connect with the database. Now once you are connected with the database, build your query from here, test it here. So remember, we were in the sales database and we were using employee. Right click, go to select top 1000 rows, and then here remove the top part. You can join with other tables or whatever you want to do, and we don't need the sales because we have created the connection manager, and this is all we need. So I was making some mistake here, so I'm going to copy this one, go back here and just paste it here. Now if I will preview, I am getting the data. If you notice that I didn't even select the ID because I don't need that. This is the good way to ignore those columns which you don't need them, right? Otherwise you will be selecting or bringing a lot of data to the SSIS, putting pressure on the machine, and then you don't need them. So why to bring that, right? So next part will be go to columns. We have first name and last name, hit OK. Now we have read the data from the source. We want to write the data to the file. Here in the connection managers, that's where your connection will be shown. So I have seen a lot of students, they will be creating a lot of connection managers. If I'm reading the data from the sale database, even I'm reading from 20 tables, I need only one connection manager to that database. So please remember, every time you click, you will be, let's say we need to read data from another table, and we bring OLEDB source here, and then we click here. Once we click here, then we say instead of using this one, we will create a new one. That's not the right way, because you already have a connection manager, and that's all you need to use. So if you are connecting with the same database, use the same connection manager for 30 times, 100 times, whatever the times you want to use it. It is the same database, and it has the tables or the store procedure that you need to use. Here, remember last time what we did, we bring the source, and this time we want to bring the file destination. So flat file. Now once you have the flat file destination here, go ahead and connect your OLEDB source to the flat file destination. Double click on flat file destination, and then click on the new. And we are creating a connection manager. We are telling like, okay, we want the delimited file, we want the fixed width file, we want the fixed width with the row delimiters or ragged right. So in my case, I'm okay with the delimited file, so hit OK. And next we want to tell the name of that connection manager. So here we say connection underscore employee. Now we browse to the folder where we want to create that file. In my case, I want to create to the input folder, and I will be naming this one employee.txt. We are all good here. Go to columns, and then go to advanced, and here you can change the data type if you want. And let me go back to the journal, and here you have the limited file. You have no text qualifier. If you want to put double quotes around each value, you can. If you want to skip header rows to skip, if you want to do that, you have it. You have the option. And here column names in the first row, data row that we want in. And now we are good. So first name, last name, advanced, and all. So now we go ahead and click overwrite data in the file if you want to append or overwrite. So in our case, we are overwriting the data. This can be very simple package, and if you see that it is we are not doing a whole lot, but if you will go ahead and watch the entire tutorial, we have SSIS video tutorial. I have gone from very basic scenarios to the very complex. So I recommend watching all these videos if you want to get expert in SSIS or become an ETL developer. So this is the basic package. So we are going to keep this one back simple. So save it. Let's run the package. So you will use start button. Now it will read the data from the SQL Server table and then write to the flat file. Let's go back and take a look into the file. So we will go to the desktop, we will go to the input folder, and here we have the file. So we have first name, last name, and these are the records we have created. So you are really doing great job here. You learn a lot of things, how to open this project, how to create the project, how to rename the packages, and all those kind of things. Now once your package is created, you are very happy, and then it's time to go for a movie or something, and then you close your solution. Make sure you save it before you close it. But if you have closed it, now you totally forgot where I created my project, or where is my SSIS solution. Now you come for the next day and you're trying to figure out, okay, where I have saved those files. I want to create a new SSIS package. Remember, in our case, we have created a folder on the desktop, and it was called SSIS project. So you open that one. Once you open this one, you can simply open the solution right from here and start working. You have to tell like, okay, what you want to use. So you have more options. So select the right option, SQL Server Data Tools. in my case, and I can go ahead and open this one from here. If I don't want to do this one, I don't want to open the solution from here, I always have the options, go to the search and say SQL Server Data Tools, or if you are using again and again, I recommend right clicking and you can pin to the start, and that's how I have done it, and I don't have to come back here every time, right? This video is gonna be really lengthy. Once you open this one, this is open in an empty Microsoft Visual Studio or a SQL Server Data Tools, and once you have open, you have to go to the File, Open, and then you go to the Project and Solution, and here you have to navigate to the place where you have saved that information. In my case, if you see that I have this PC Documents Visual Studio 2012 projects, and that's where my projects are. But remember, the last one we have created, that was on a desktop. So we have this PC desktop projects, double click here, then select the solution and open. There are multiple ways to open that one. You can always also go to the file and go to the recent files and projects, and from here you can also open it. But if you are interested to open a new one, or you don't want to go to the recent, it's not there anymore, let's say, you can go to the file, open, and project and solution, and go navigate to the folder where your solution is, and then once it's done, you can come back here, create new SSIS package, rename this one. Let's say in this case we are saying PKG, and I will say create employee file or employee file. I will work on this one, save it, and then I can close it. If you are using a old version such as 2005 and 2008, one thing to remember, let's say if I have pasted the data flow here and execute SQL task here, and in this case I have saved the package, then I want to go ahead and press Ctrl Z. If you see it is undoing, so you have this button redo and undo, but in 2005 and 2008 you don't have it. So make sure, if you need to delete something, make sure you really need to delete. What I do, I'll always make the copy of that package. So I right click here and make a copy, and then click here and I press Ctrl V, or just right click here and paste it, and that's how I can make a copy, and then I rename _copy, and then if I need to delete something from my first package, I do that. Even in 2012 or 2014 or 16, whatever you are using, I will say make a copy, because if you are redone and save it, close it, the next time you come back, you don't know which level you want to go back. So maybe if you will try to redo or undo whatever, maybe it will not work. Why not to have a copy? So in the real world, you will have to save these packages in TFS, Team Foundation Server, or VSS, or SVN, whatever the software you are using to save that information, and you can always check in and check out. So if you want to see, we have Team Foundation Server, and we have a lot of videos and tutorial on this one, how to install that, how to check in your code, how to check out that. And this is really important, because when you develop something, at the end of the day you have to save that code or package or report to the TFS or some versioning control software, so you would know that, okay, I have worked on this package for today, I have added this part and that part, and tomorrow somebody can take from there, or you will take it and keep making changes. You don't want to save the files to your local computer, and if it will be something went wrong with your virus, or or some other hard disk fail or something happen, you will lose the work. So it's always good idea, once you are done with the development, put those packages in the TFS or VSS or any other software you are using for the version controlling. Thanks very much for watching this video, and apologize for making this video long, but this was very important video I wanted to make, and I'm gonna make small videos as well, or simple videos that will lead you how to become a really good ETL developer. So go ahead and start watching the videos. There are hundreds of videos I'm putting here, and each one is a real-time scenario. Once you watch that, you will pretty much have covered all those scenarios what people are facing on the real-time projects. So once again, thanks, and see you in next video.